Good morning, students. Our today's topic is potential difference and electric circuit. As in our last class, we discussed about current and we said that rate of flow of charged particles is known as current. And at that time, we discussed that metals have free electrons, or we can say loosely bound electrons, which moves through the conductor and conducts the current. But now the question arises that suppose I am having a copper wire and simply a copper wire lying on the table. It is not connected anywhere in the switch or with the battery, etc. So will it conduct current at that time? No, we never have seen like this. In that case, it means it is not having loosely bound electrons, but it is copper wire, it is having loosely bound electrons and still it is not conducting current. But when we connect this copper wire with a switch, then it start conducting. So why it happens so? Let us discuss about this concept today in this class. First of all, we will compare this concept with some other example, and let us take two tanks having water, and these tanks are connected with the pipe. As in this figure we can see that the water level in both tanks is same. So just think yourself whether this water will flow from this tank to this or this tank to this. No, it doesn't happen. Okay, now in another case, here is water at high level and here is water at low level. Now in this case, does the flow of water takes place? Yes. And in which direction? It will move from high level to low level, and it will move till the level of water become same in both the tank. As soon as both water levels is same, the flow of water will stop. We have noticed this phenomena in our daily life. Now in the same way we can discuss this case. This is a tank having water and it is having a tap. Here is another container having water. Now what happens? If there is some water in this tank which is at higher level, and if it is allowed to flow, then we observe that this water will itself come in downward direction and fall in this container. We need not to apply any other external source for that. For this, only gravity plays its roles and water comes from higher level to lower level itself. But reverse, if we want that the water should go from lower level to higher level, does it happen itself? No. At your home also you must have noticed, if you want to fill water in your tank which is at the top of your roof, then what do? You switch on the motor, you apply a water pump, and this motor or water pump takes this water from lower level and send this water at the higher level. For doing this, what is happening? This water pump is doing work on this, and that work is stored in the form of potential energy at the higher level. In previous class, we have studied that when work is done on an object, that work is stored in the form of potential energy. And when this object is allowed to do work or allowed to fall, then its potential energy is converted into work. In the same way, we can take one more example. If we pick a stone from the ground and we place that stone at a higher level, then what we are doing? We are doing work on that stone, and our that work is stored in the form of potential energy at the height. And when this stone is allowed to fall in downward direction, then that potential energy is doing work. It is converted into work. So in the same way, by these examples, we will discuss the flow of charge. Now, as this is resistance, resistance means any electrical appliance which is consuming energy, and it is connected with these connecting wires. If we do not apply battery over it, in your homes also you have seen, if you do not switch on the button, your fan will not move. In the same way, if we do not apply battery or the cell in this circuit, then this appliance will not work. But when we apply this cell, we fix this cell in this circuit, then this cell provide energy to do work on the charged particles, and this is the main source which moves these charged particles in the circuit. Let us discuss in detail that how it works. As students, we discussed, suppose this is a copper wire and it is having atoms, it is made up of atoms, and it is having loosely bound electrons. So what happens, that one electron from atom jumps to the other atom and it replaces its loosely bound electron. Now that loosely bound electron of another atom get free. Now it will again jump to the another atom and it will replace another loosely bound electron. That free electron will jump to more another atoms, and in this way the motion of these electrons takes place. But if we have not applied any source with this wire, then that movement of these electrons is in different random directions and it will not contribute to any flow of current. But when we apply a battery or a cell on this copper wire, then what happens? That it orients the movement of these loosely bound electrons in a particular direction. Like in this case, we can see this is copper strip and these all electrons are now moving in a particular direction, and that happens because of application of this battery. This is actually cell. If we are applying one small and a one larger line, this is representing cell. If we are applying more than one this combination, that will constitute battery. This positive sign is showing higher and negative sign is showing lower. Now in this case we will use a term that is potential. So this positive means it is having higher potential and this negative sign means it is having lower potential. Now these electrons from this copper wire, from these connecting wires, these are also conducting, these are moving, and in this way this electrons are moving from negative terminal to the positive terminal, and this completes the circuit. If we have not applied this cell, then no oriented motion of these electrons and therefore no contribution of current. As we can see in this case, this is a battery we have applied and this is the direction of electron flow. It goes to this bulb and this energy is utilized, some of this energy is utilized by this bulb and it start glowing, because this energy is converted into heat and light energy, and in this way this circuit completes. But as in last lecture we discussed that the direction of current, or we can say direction of conventional current, is in opposite direction to the direction of flow of electrons. So we can say that direction of flow of current is from positive terminal of battery to the negative terminal of battery. So we can define electric potential as that when a small electric charge is placed in electric field, due to another charge, it experiences a force. So work has to be done on positive charge to move it against this force of repulsion. And that work done in moving a unit positive charge from infinity to a particular point is known as electric potential. V represented by the formula, that is V. V means electric potential is given by work done divided by quantity of charge, work done to move the charge. Now potential difference between two potentials, as the name suggests. So the electric potential difference between 2 points in an electric circuit carrying some current is defined as the work done to move a unit charge from one point to the other point. In this case, we have considered, when we were defining electric potential, then the charge was bringing from infinity to a particular point. But when we define electric potential, we use that the charge comes from one point to another point. Potential difference means work done divided by quantity of charged moves, and we can define it. The formula of potential difference is, this triangle is known as delta, means change or difference. For difference we are representing it with delta. So delta V equal to work done by quantity of charged moves. Like in this case, we can consider that suppose at this positive terminal, if the potential of this cell is 1.5 volt, and at this minus this small lower potential, that is 0. So what is potential difference given by this cell? That is 1.5 minus 0, that is 1.5 volt. Okay, if we are applying 2 cell, generally each cell gives 1.5 volt potential difference, but that is very small. So we connect more than one cells as per our requirement. Suppose we are connecting 2 cells. One is this and another higher and lower potential. So this cell will give 1.5. Another cell will also give 1.5. So 1.5 plus 1.5, it will give 3 volt potential difference. And if we say at higher side the potential is 3, at lower side potential is 0, then what is potential difference given by the battery? That will be 3 minus 0 equal to 3 volt. So in this way we can calculate potential difference. One more important thing, it's not always true that the lower potential means 0. Lower potential means lesser than higher potential. It means maybe in some cases higher potential can be suppose 6 and lower potential can be 4.5. So what is potential difference? 6 minus 4.5. So now SI unit of electric potential difference is volt, because it was given by Italian physicist Alessandro Volta. 1 volt equal to 1 joule by 1 coulomb, because 1 volt is the unit of potential difference. So it is 1 volt, work is 1 joule and charge is 1 coulomb. So we can define SI unit of potential difference, that 1 volt of potential difference between 2 points in a current carrying conductor when 1 joule of work is done to move a charge of 1 coulomb from one point to other. If you have remembered the definition, you will automatically learn the formula, and if you know the formula, you know the SI units of each and every term, then you can define SI unit of potential difference yourself. No need to cram or memorize it. Now, voltmeter. A voltmeter is an instrument used for measuring electrical potential difference between 2 points in an electric circuit. As in last lecture we discussed that how much current is flowing through the circuit is measured by an instrument, that is ammeter. In the same way, that how much potential difference exists between two ends of a conductor or any instrument, it is measured by, that is voltmeter. Voltmeter is always connected in parallel across the points between which potential difference is to be measured. Very important questions. Ammeter is connected in series. Voltmeter is connected in parallel. And voltmeter has a high resistance so that it has take negligible current, while ammeter has low resistance. If question comes in exam that why voltmeter is connected in parallel and ammeter is in series, so the answer is this is connected in parallel because it is having high resistance. Let us understand it. Suppose we are considering this circuit diagram, and this is cell, 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 and we have connected these four cells, so it make a battery. This is used to provide energy in the circuit to move the current, to move the charge through the circuit so that current can flow. Now current is coming, this is resistance. Resistance, we are representing this, actually this is a instrument which is consuming energy, or we can apply some wires which is acting like resistance in our labs. Now this symbol V, written V, it is representing voltmeter. This voltmeter is connected in parallel with this resistance. Parallel means one end of this is connected to one instrument and other end of this voltmeter is connected to the same instrument or appliance. While in case of ammeter we discussed it is in series. How we can say it is in series? Because its one end is connected to one component and other end is connected to the other component. So this ammeter is connected in series because this is in path of the current. If it have high resistance, then how the current can move through the circuit? So the resistance of this ammeter is very low, or we can say negligibly small, so that it just have to count the charge particles which are passing through the circuit, and it will not hinder or interrupt their flow. So it do not hinder, so its resistance is very less. We will discuss about this term resistance in our Ohm's law topic. So right now you just notice that its resistance is low so that it will not interrupt any flow of charges. But in case of voltmeter, the current can flow through this path and it will not move through this path. So its resistance we have kept very high so that the current should flow in its path and it should not flow through this path. And it will measure the difference in potentials between these 2 points where it have been connected. So this voltmeter is telling the suppose the potential at this point is 3 volt and at this point it is 2 volt. So what value this potential this voltmeter will show? It will show 3 minus 2 equal to 1 volt. Now, why the potential difference important? Electric current will flow through a conductor only if there is difference in electric potential between two ends of the conductor. Now we have understand this concept properly. As water flow, only there is difference in water level. In the same way, current will flow only if there is difference in the electric potentials. As if the electric potential same at both ends, there will be no more flow of charged particles and the current will stop. The potential difference in a circuit is provided or maintained by a cell or battery. Beta, very important questions. There are two questions and students usually get confused. If in exam there is question that the name the instrument which maintained the potential difference in the circuit, then answer will be cell or battery. And if question in exam that name the instrument which measured, then you have to write voltmeter. So be very careful in such type of questions. Now, the chemical reactions in the cell produces a potential difference between the two terminals and sets the electrons in motion and produces electric current. That how cell or battery maintains the current, because there are some chemical reactions happening in the cell, and due to those chemical reactions they move the electrons. This is a table given in your book also, and you must know about the meaning of these symbols. If we represent an electric cell, then it is represented by these two lines. One is smaller and smaller, another is bigger, and plus and minus. It is showing electric cell. But if we are representing such type of, means more than one cell, then it constitute battery. If we are saying plug key or switch open, then we represent it by this symbol, switch open. Okay, or we can say key open, means in this case current is not flowing in the circuit. As you switch off the button of your fan or your bulb or your AC, then you see that your fan or bulb is not working. So this switch is acting like a key in the circuit. Now plug key, switch closed. If we place this dot in the switch, then this is showing closed circuit, means when you switch on the bulb or the fan, this is showing that type of arrangement. If we show a wire joint, then we show like this, and if wire crossing, then we show like this. An electric bulb, if we are showing in a circuit, then this is shown by the symbol. A resistor or resistance, this is shown by these zigzag lines. We will discuss about resistance in our further topic. Variable resistance or rheostat, so this is shown by this arrow or by this. This is actually fixed resistor. Its resistance value is not changed, but this rheostat or variable resistance, its value of resistance is changed according to our requirement with the help of a knob. This is ammeter and this is voltmeter. Now these are the actually instruments which you can see in your physics lab. This is rheostat, and these connections are made on these terminals, and this is a knob. When we turn the knob, then its resistance is changed. This is voltmeter, this is ammeter. You can see a scale on this, and it is a needle. As this needle moves, we notice the value shown by this scale, and we can know that what is the potential difference in the between the two terminals where we have connected this voltmeter. Okay, voltage and potential difference, both words have the same meaning. If I say voltage, it means it is potential difference. Okay, this is ammeter. In the same way it works, as this needle moves, we can notice as this needle is at a smaller uh, point, then current is less. As this needle goes at higher positions, it means large amount of current is flowing through the circuit. In the same way, these are the switch, or we can say key. These are connected in the circuit. These are connecting wires, and these are the bulbs. These bulbs can act like a resistance in the circuit. These are consuming energy. These can be shown by the bulbs. These have the fixed resistance. Now, this was all about our potential difference topic, and this is a solved question given in your NCERT, that how much work is done in moving a charge of 2 coulomb. This is charge given to us across 2 points having potential difference 12 volt, and this is potential difference. So in our question we have given V 12 volt and charge 2C. So potential difference V. We discussed about potential difference to write the symbol of delta V. And if we are simply writing V, it also means the same. So don't get confused that why this book is not writing delta V. We just differentiate V and delta V to make you understand that V is showing potential and delta V is showing potential difference. Otherwise, in formulas we can use them as it is. Simply we will write the formula and multiplications, we get work equal to 24 joule. Now, these are blueprint questions or in-text questions given in your book, that name a device that helps to maintain potential difference. Now here beta maintain means cell or battery, and if question measures, then voltmeter. What is meant by saying that potential difference between 2 points is 1 volt? It means indirectly he is asking about the definition of 1 volt. So you can define that potential difference is said to be 1 volt when 1 joule of work is done to move 1 coulomb of charge between 2 points. Third question, how much energy is given to each coulomb? Each coulomb means we have given charge equal to 1 coulomb through a battery, passing through a 6 volt battery. So the battery is 6 volt, so V is 6 volt and charge is 1 coulomb, and you have to find W. Answer will be 6 joule. Now these are some solved questions, some extra questions for your practice. First of all, whenever you solve the numericals, you just write down the formulas. So V equal to W by Q, and delta V matlab difference in potential difference. It is given by difference in potential. If in some questions directly potential difference is not given, then you have to use this formula. This is important. Sometimes in CBSE exam this question comes. Calculate the potential difference between two terminal of battery if 100 joule of work is required. So work is given to transfer 20 coulombs from one terminal to the other. So it is simply formula based questions. You will apply the values in formula and you will get the answer. In next question, how much work done is moving a charge of 3 coulomb? Charge is given 3 coulomb from a point 38 volt to a point at 48 volt. So in such type of questions we will use this formula. First of all, we will calculate potential difference. Potential difference, this will be 48 minus 38, so it will be 10 volt. Charge is 3 coulomb. So work done will be charge into potential difference, so we will get 30 joule. In the same way, you have to try these unsolved questions that calculate potential at a point if 5 joule of work is done. Work is given, charge is given, and you have to calculate potential difference. Answer is also given to you. Simply you will use the formula and find the answer and match your answer. In the same way, in another question, 24 joule work is given, moving a charge Q between 2 points having potential difference 12 volt. So find the value of charge. Apply the formula, find the values. So you have to do the practice of more and more questions and numericals and read it again and again. Thank you.